Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about a decision that needs to be made. A crossroads with this Two of Swords. We know we have somebody weighing information, weighing how they feel. And with the Page of Swords, I feel like you're about to get more information or the information that you need. So you could be trying to decide whether or not to forgive somebody, let them, come back around. You could be trying to figure out whether or not a friendship is something that should be upgraded, if you will, to more of a romantic connection. But you have this pause or this indecisive energy because you know there's something else you need to figure out in order to make the right decision. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chanting. I hope you're having a good day so far. Hello, famous Seamus. Hello, Key Controller. Hello, April Fools. Hello, Renee. How we doing? If you'd like a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box below. And if you would like to be a member, I've got a link below my email address for you so you can find out what those 3 tiers are. We are needing additional content. I've got more. This is the Love Oracle. Releasing, letting go, moving on, walking away. Wow. So that is the decision. It did kind of feel like the suggestions I was coming up with as far as the decision that needs to be made is it time to let someone go? Is it like, should I give them another chance? But I feel like whoever I'm reading for, your intuition is guiding you to walk away from this person. For some of you, this could be walking away from an opportunity or, like a living situation. But I think for the majority of you, this would be walking away from somebody that has let you down on multiple occasions. And you're kind of done wondering whether or not they're going to do it differently if you give them another chance. Hello, Nawaji. How are you doing? What else do we have? Boundaries, no, drawing the line, enough, and confusion, uncertain, unclear, unsure. That's where we're at. So I'm thinking about blocking this person. I'm thinking about, ending the relationship. I'm thinking about moving out. But what if I'm giving up too soon? What if there's something else that I should or could be doing to improve upon this? And I think that's just a little bit of guilt. We have to be able to monitor our own emotions and make sure we can call ourselves out if we are being overly harsh on ourselves, because it can go towards other people or towards ourselves, right? King of Rings, which is the King of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups. So you are coming through as the King of Pentacles. It does not matter what your gender is. In tarot, gender doesn't matter. This is just energy that I'm reading, right? What I should say is physicality doesn't matter. There's feminine and masculine energy, so gender matters in that regard, but it doesn't always translate to what you look like, right? This is saying this King of Pentacles is getting an offer, and I feel like that offer is disappointing. Or it gives you pause. Like, why should I entertain this? Why would I want to get back on that carousel? Hello, Robert. How are you doing? King of Swords and Temperance. Because the thing is, you're getting this offer, and it feels to you like whoever's making this offer, how do I say this? Their offer is almost guaranteed to interrupt whatever peace or harmony you have in your life at the moment. And the risk is still pretty high that whatever they offer would not be worth the disruption. So this King of Swords energy is, I feel, the very like pensive. I have to think about this, right? We did have Two of Swords, Page of Swords, so a lot of air energy. Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Basically, I have to make sure that I use my head for this decision, because if I make my decision without the logic element, I might make the wrong decision. So you've pulled back a little bit with the emotions regarding this person. Knight of Rings or Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. Disruption. Hierophant. Whoever I'm reading for, you have gotten to the point where you realize that being in a relationship is not like the end all be all, or that there is something sacred having that time to just be on your own or make your own decisions, be a free agent, if you will. And so we've got this person considering whether or not there's a way to have a more relaxed approach or more happy approach to life if they didn't have to deal with this unreliable person. So what really matters to you, if it doesn't really matter to the person who wants to be sitting by your side, that's a problem. And maybe it wasn't always. So if you've noticed that this person doesn't have the same morals, if you've noticed this person's okay with hurting you when you go out of your way not to hurt them, those are the kind of things you can't really forget, right? So there's this shift. I used to try to bridge the differences between us. I used to try to focus on the positive elements of our interactions. But when I'm honest with myself and I look at the big picture, I realize that what I was actually doing was ignoring the things that were telling me, maybe this isn't good for me. So you have this knowing that there's supposed to be a good life for you. There's supposed to be a happy relationship, that there are people that would treat you very well. And it's got you questioning why you would even give this person another thought. This could be an ex. This could be somebody that you thought about dating but didn't actually. But there's inconsistent energy here. Hot and cold, mixed messages, inability to communicate emotions. So with the Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Wands, it's like you're very focused on, if I did everything right and it was still the same outcome, then why am I still trying this, right? Why wouldn't I apply my energy elsewhere and have success with somebody or something that, you know, is working with me? So you kind of look at it as this person is a broken vending machine. It doesn't matter how many quarters I put in there, I'm not getting my Dr. Pepper. So you might as well find a different vending machine, right? Yeah, Carmen says you're a bad vending machine. Yeah, sorry. Hello, Third Eye. Hello, Realm of Bedlam. How are you? Hello, Captcha. What's going on? Hello, Bitchy Tata. We've got the Star and the Nine of Rings or Nine of Pentacles with the Ten of Swords. It's curtains. I think you're done. Again, whether or not you've been in a committed relationship with this person, whether or not you've been, married to them before, whether or not this is just a friendship. This is saying, I don't think I can have you in my life because we continually have different opinions on what's okay or what's acceptable behavior. And I'm tired of trying to be the person that's always making things better, or I'm tired of ignoring the things that you do that make me feel small, right? All right, this is the Voyage of the Soul. What else do we have? Intuition, which is the second time that's come out. I would also comment that this Nine of Pentacles, this can talk about independence, and I think it does in this reading, but I think it's also a reference to someone's intuition. I know what's down that road and I'm not really a fan of it. It's a dead end, but your intuition is on point right now. It's probably usually on point. But if you're second guessing yourself, maybe it's because there's too many outside influences. So we have intuition and intimacy, partnerships, romance, union and soulmates, and awakened. So I see two people. One person has awakened. The other one is like, what? No, it's too early. I don't want to wake up yet. Snooze. It's really difficult to continue a friendship or a romantic relationship with somebody who's very firmly stuck in a particular era of their life, not really interested in pursuing personal growth. When that's something that's important to you, you generally want to be around people that are working on those things for themselves as well, right? What else do we have? Polarity. Nope, just kidding. There's one that looks just like this. That's white. Ooh, it's guides. That makes me want to look for that polarity card. Because I feel like that's what I was just talking about as far as like you being completely different from this person. No, is it this one? No. What the heck? Did I miss it? All right. Guides, receive clarity, open mind, open crown chakra, futuristic visions, trendsetter, crafty, plans and innovation, soul, infinite self, source, non-physical, karma, and Akashic records. You can see that your life could take a really interesting path. It could offer you an experience that most people don't even dream of. But if you stay stagnant, if you miss your train because you're trying to hang out with somebody who's perennially late, then like you might miss out on the experience of a lifetime. So I think you understand, like, I'm not going to be late for my trip just because you can't get to the airport on time. I mean, you're a broken vending machine, so I guess that makes sense, right? All right, this is the Golden Art Nouveau. Hello, Becca. How are you doing? Do you key controller? What else do we have? Five of Cups in the reverse. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Part of what enables whoever I'm reading for, part of what enables you to move on or move forward and address the healing that you need to in any given situation is that I think you have a pretty firm belief that there's not a lot of reason to regret things. There's not a lot of reasons to, get mad at yourself because you can learn from situations, right? If you're not the person for me, I learn from that situation. If you're rude in public, I learned from that situation. This is someone who's saying, yeah, maybe I lost a little bit of time. Maybe it was a little bit of a distraction, but I also learned. And that's valuable. Versus whoever you are walking away from, they are, it's like marinating in the pain. Bathing in all of the regret. They're struggling because they can't let go of something or struggling because they're holding on to resentment towards you. So with this Eight of Cups in the reverse, they're never able to actually walk away from what's blocking them. They just keep going around in circles. Six of Swords in the reverse. Page of Cups in the reverse, and the Four of Wands in the reverse. How can things improve if this person just follows the same pattern every time? How can things change? How can we expect a different result if this person's content to be the same day in and day out? That apology, it doesn't mean anything without changed behavior. There's no way that we can get closer, or that I can learn to trust you, or that I can continue to trust you if we always have issues that take us backwards. Four of Wands in the reverse is instability, bad foundation. Hello, Stephen. How are you doing? Nine of Cups, Two of Swords, another Two of Swords like at the beginning. If I'm going to make a choice, I have to make a choice about what things are right now. I can't say, that person might treat me right in a year, so I guess I'll wait it out. I can't say, well, maybe I'll enjoy living here more in a year. I just have to like find a different job. This is someone saying, I've done the things that I can do, and those controlling the controllable choices that I made didn't make a difference in terms of my connection with this person or the communications. Didn't seem to change how they wanted to approach me. So I feel like I need to alter what my dream is. I need to update my mind in terms of what I daydream about, because if it's not realistic, if you can't actually achieve that, then I don't know why I would expect you to offer it to me. Wow, that's weird. The Hermit flipped over. You're going off on your own. If they don't want to work on themselves, if they don't want to work on things with you, then you will find a new place, a new reality, a new home, a new love. Emperor in the reverse. Some of you got tired of feeling like you had to tell this person how to do things, or constantly explain what your motivations were. I feel like this is resentment towards you because you did things well and they felt like they were never good enough. But they're trying to vilify you, even though I feel like I'm purposefully not trying because I know you're going to start an argument. Like that seems like a pretty toxic cycle. So the fact that you are choosing to walk away shows maturity. So we've got the Temperance card indicating balance, peace, harmony. You know that when you're not dealing with this person, that things are a little bit easier, or that you're not having to deal with as much drama. This is the Cats Rule the Earth. Hello, Daniel. How are you doing? So there's a phone charger on the other side of the unicorn. You know, one of those ones that charge through the back of the phone. That's kind of funny, though. What else do we have? Hanged Man in the reverse. King of Pentacles in the reverse. Sometimes we have to admit that somebody who said they were going to change isn't going to actually change, or doesn't want to actually change. There is a perspective of this person that you were hoping you could change or influence. You were hoping you could show them that, change is possible, or there could be a better way to approach things. This is somebody who likes being a little bit tied up. You can make as many jokes as you want on that, but this is somebody who's like a fan of the drama. There's someone that I used to know that would ask me for readings, and often the same message would come through over and over again. And while, hearing the reading, there would be affirmations like, yeah, that makes sense. No, you're totally right. I could do that. But then nothing ever changed. I have quantifiable, or I have a checklist of things I need to do, and then I could get away from this situation that's causing me problems. And I eventually realized, okay, I think maybe you just like dealing with all of this toxic energy. Maybe you don't want to actually get away from that. This is the kind of energy that I see here. I like when things are chaotic. I like when things are up and down. I'm used to that kind of energy. I don't know how to plan ahead, or I don't want to know how to plan ahead. And you're saying, well, that's not what I want. I want to actually make decisions that make sense. I want to be able to avoid arguments. I want to be able to, have more of a peaceful existence, not chaotic. Hello, Darnell. How are you doing? Knight of Cups in the reverse, Queen of Wands, and the Empress in the reverse. This person's codependent. If I didn't say it in, a roundabout way before, I'll say it very clear right now. This person is codependent. They will throw a fit. They will express emotions in terms of sadness or anger, but this is not somebody who can show the type of gratitude they know they should. This is not somebody who goes out of their way to do kind things for you. This is somebody who is quite often thinking about themselves. And I don't know if that's really something that you can teach them to change, because they have so far refused to change that perspective, right? But with the Queen of Wands, you're starting to realize that your energy, or just like your general way of feeling, you feel better when you're not around this person. Ace of Cups in the reverse. Nine of Cups in the reverse. I think some of you thought you would always want to be around this person, especially if there's you could be dealing with someone that has very high highs, very low lows. And when the highs are very high, they're very exuberant, very fun, hilarious. I don't know. I think when the good times are happening, it's hard to remember the bad because the good is quite good. But this is someone who has done so much, or there's so much history here. There's so much, kind of like disappointment, that I feel like you're starting to lose that appreciation for the good side of this person. It's like, yeah, that's cute and all. You're funny, but can you do your own laundry? Oh, that's nice. You can sing on key, but did you pay any bills? This is someone who's starting to realize the little charming things that they feel they felt in love with, or did I say fell in love with, or the reasons they thought this person was a best friend, or probably more of a love interest, right? That they're not that impressive. Sorry to be so brutal about it. Just keep in mind, you guys, I'm channeling. I admit I am just a little bit sassy, and maybe even sassier than you all see on this YouTube channel. But I do also feel like we've got somebody here who feels like they can take advantage of you. So do I feel bad being a little sassy? Not really, because you don't deserve that. This is somebody who likes to make sure that you never really have somebody else in your life that can compete with them, but they don't want to give you the 100% that you're asking them for. So I hope you like appetizers, because no main. You're like, no, thank you. I'm over it. Ace of Cups in the reverse, Nine of Cups in the reverse. I know this isn't for me. I think I've fallen out of love, or this isn't what I want. Followed by the Eight of Swords in the reverse. I freed myself from the mental block, or this guilt or whatever made me feel like I needed to wait and see if you could figure your stuff out. Nah, I'm good. I love myself more than I love your potential. Hey, Rachel, how are you doing? Hello, Carrie. How's your day? All right, what else? This is the gold foil tarot. Nine of Wands. Hierophant. Yeah. I have tried to defend this, or I have tried to justify the things that happen, or tried to be forgiving or patient because I wanted to have something real with you. But I also have standards. I also have boundaries. There are things that um, don't work, right? And they feel like you should just accept those things that don't work for you. And I'm not telling you to be a tyrant, but I don't think this person's being reasonable in terms of what they expect you to just sacrifice or put up with. Sun in the reverse. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Six of Wands in the reverse. So there's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy here where whoever you're dealing with, they get in their own head. They block themselves because they have some insecurities or they have some fear of rejection. They could be dealing with some depression or a little bit of not really understanding how to love themselves. When you're dealing with someone who does not love themselves, I don't know that it's really that possible for them to be loving towards you, because that's how that resentment can take such firm hold over somebody. They may not understand how you get through life so unscathed because they don't realize that you handle difficulty or obstacles or betrayal in a more healthy way. So then they start to think it's not fair. Everything's just so easy for you, or everything's handed on a silver platter to you, because they're judging you based on how you are able to move on, right? They expect that means you don't experience any pain, but it's the difference between addressing those traumas, addressing those issues that they don't seem to understand. King of Swords, Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Emperor. I'm proud of you. You have come out quite a few times with the air sign energy. So you could have Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra in your chart. But I think more importantly, this is you deciding that your standards and what you deserve in a relationship is important. And it's not to be negotiated or compromised on by somebody who's not putting forth the effort that you are. So they might have been able to convince you to deal with them getting less than you deserve in the past. They might have been able to delay, treating you the way you deserve to be treated, but they're not going to be able to sustain it. This is you saying, I'm done. We're good. Yeah. Ten of Pentacles, you're focused on something that would be able to offer you happiness over a long period. And if this person doesn't know how to think about the long term or plan for making things better, resolving conflicts for you, then you're okay with starting over. You're okay with pursuing something new. Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, and the Star. What you once would have considered a great loss, you now consider an opportunity for healing or rebuilding. So I don't have to do this. I can focus on that, or this new path has opened up to me. Let's do that. Wait, now I need to know why you're asking about Lucille Ball. Because she's my favorite. Hello, Galaxy King. How you doing? There is a quote that I love by Lucille Ball. I don't know if I'd be able to do it justice right now. Maybe I'll find that and post it for you all. Two of Pentacles in the reverse. I wish I could give you a hug, because I do feel like you've taken on more stress or anxiety than you really needed to, because you were trying to help somebody keep their life together, because you were trying to be there for someone, because you were trying to be good to someone who maybe has not had people who genuinely care for them, or people who are reliable. But we all have a responsibility to ourselves to do what we can to improve upon things, right? If someone is not trying to work on things with you, you can't make them, right? Oh, yes. I think so. Ah, I'm so jealous, third eye. That's too cool. Yeah, I was watching the John Wayne episode last night. Queen of Pentacles. This is the Jack-o'-lantern tarot, by the way. Didn't you guys know? It's spooky season. So we've got the Five of Cups and the Eight of Wands joining the Queen of Pentacles. This Queen of Pentacles is your energy. Remember, at the very beginning, you came out as the King of Pentacles. You have found out how to improve upon the ability to be grounded in your life. You have minimized the toxicity and the drama. You've walked away from things that you know cause that type of chaos. Maybe this was just a little bit more difficult than some of the others. But what I see here is when you choose stability over dealing with somebody that is just thinking a bunch of woulda, shoulda, couldas, all of a sudden things happen for you. With the Eight of Wands, this is like whatever had been stuck starts like flowing, starts working for you. Job offers, hanging out with friends, unknown money coming in. Like, I won't lie, you guys, there was one time I cut off a friend that I knew I shouldn't be friends with, and there was money that I had no reason to expect that just popped up into my account, like, I think within 3 hours. Little things like that happen when you demonstrate to the universe that you are focused on making your own life as good as you can. Does that mean turning your backs on everybody you know? No. But we all have to be fighting for ourselves, right? Which is to say, you can't be the only thing that keeps someone going. They have to have some of that inertia of their own. Queen of Cups and Strength. So there is something here in the next, I think it's like 4 weeks or so. You're going to feel very proud of yourself for choosing what you have. I feel like this is like a really good hug. So there's like a sense of comfort. I belong here, or I've, been able to see some people that I really miss, or I meet somebody who makes me feel loved. This is about having that energy around you that you want, not that inconsistent energy. So there's a change here, and it's because you are surrounded by people who also want to do right by your connection. So you're dealing with people who are awakened or going through awakening, and that's why things seem more in balance. That's why things seem more like you've had a small victory, right? Like you've been able to control what kind of energy is in your sphere. All right. Let's get a few from the Earth and Bone Oracle. What else do we have? Ooh, I like that. So we just had the Strength card come out, which is tied closely to this Warrior card. Number 5, inner strength, clarity, focus, receptivity, and presence. Yeah, you've been through some things. You've learned some important lessons, but it's like you're setting the stage for a much better chapter. This is such a lame analogy, so please feel free to make fun of me. I love board games, okay? Settlers of Catan, for example. More recently got addicted to Ticket to Ride. And it's all about strategy, right? And one of the things I love about those games is there's a different approach to getting that W that you can take. Development cards or like longest road, right? Things like that. This is like somebody realizing I was working with a strategy that I thought was going to be the right one, but I'm smart enough to know when it's not the right strategy and I'm taking that back. I'm going to do a different strategy this time around. So you've learned, now I'm hearing Alanis Morissette, and you've changed how you approach these things now. Ooh, why are we all upside down? Hold on. Is it literally just all of them? That's great. Sorry, guys. There we go. So your strategy has changed. You're not going to have the same kind of interference or distractions. We've got ambition, determination, willpower, creation, and focus. You are the sorcerer. Show yourself, Banshee. You know what you need to cut out of your life, and then you actually follow through on that, right? So we've got the Fate card, which talks about cycles, alignment, decisive moments, Two of Swords, opportunistic events. For some of you, this is like you get a job offer out of state. You get an opportunity to move in with a best friend. I don't know. There's something here where it's like, I have this opportunity. It's not going to be here forever, but it does push me to make a final decision on this person that has not done right by me. And I feel like your heart is screaming for you to take this new opportunity. Hello, Illuminati. How are you doing? So we've got the Mask, number 40. Yeah. You were dealing with somebody that liked to wear masks or, not be fully honest with you about their motivations, about what they promised you to do. I'm sure you had some empty promises from this person. And you're looking at it now like, again, a broken vending machine. Why would I keep putting money in this if I'm never going to get a Dr. Pepper? There's another machine right there. Number 16, which is the Star. And number 12, the Owls. So in the extended Lenormand, the Gilded Reverie, they have additional cards. And one of the additional ones, they have two number 12s. Daylight with cardinals, and then the midnight shoot with owls. If you don't know, I have an irrational fear of owls. I'm not afraid of this card, but I don't like owls. I know. They represent wisdom. It's so ridiculous. But it kind of goes with the darker vibe, right? This is not so great chatter. And what I want to say is this person that you are feeling like you need to walk away from, feeling like you need to maybe even block, they do not say nice things about you. Now, that could be they're highly critical of you, or that could be that they're talking to their friends or family saying, oh, whatever I ask of them, they'll give me. No big deal. Yeah, they're dumb like that. No one should talk about you like that. There's something here about this person being disrespectful in the face of your compassion. Gratitude is important. And I don't think this person really gets that. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. Hello, Selena. How are you doing? I hope to see you on the next reading. Toodles.